Olympics set to begin in just 2 days. All eyes are on the Korean Peninsula. Gina Kim takes a look back at what led up to the reunification of North and South Korea.
After threatening to turn the U.S. into ashes with its nuclear bombs, the bombshell from North Korea these days is a sudden friendliness towards its neighbor to the south. It began on January 1st when North Korean President Kim Jong-un announced his country was ready to hold talks with South Korea for the first time in more than 2 years. That led to a meeting at the DMZ where they agreed their athletes would walk together under a unified Korean flag at the opening and closing ceremonies of the Winter Olympics. The two nations have walked together in previous Olympics, but Pyeongchang will mark the first time the two Koreas will compete as a unified team. The North Korean women's ice hockey team will play alongside the South Korean women. North Korea will also send dozens of figure skating, short track speed skating, cross-country and alpine skiing athletes, as well as cheerleaders and officials. But many South Koreans just aren't buying whatever the North is selling. They fear the North side will steal the show at the Games, getting a major public relations victory while buying more time for Kim's nuclear program.
After the Winter Games, how the North acts and how the nuclear issue is dealt with, that's when the real game will begin.
But as the Olympics approach, North Korea's about-face is only intensifying, going as far as urging reunification of the two countries. Gina Kim, NBC News, Pyeongchang.
And with just days to go until the games begin, the Olympic torch continues to make its way across South Korea. Today, it arrived in Donghae. This year, 7,500 torchbearers will participate in the relay. There are still 20 stops left to go until the flame reaches its final destination at the opening ceremony. Meanwhile, athletes who are already in Pyeongchang are having their last training sessions before competing on the world stage. American luge athletes Chris Madzer, Taylor Morris, and Tucker West will take part in the men's luge singles division at the Games. They each hope to take home Team USA's first individual men's medal in the sport. And after years of planning, NBC Sports is making its final preparations before bringing the Games home to your living room. Mark Barger gives us a behind-the-scenes look.
Just as Olympians prepare for their moment to shine, NBC's been getting ready too.
It's a huge traveling army that deploys to the Games.
Years of planning, more than 1,800 employees from the States, and 100 shipping containers of broadcast equipment, some headed for brutal mountain conditions.
Even, for example, the diesel fuels in the generator has to be what they call alpine fuel, otherwise it will gel up and freeze.
The cozier confines of the network's broadcast studio serve as the pivot point for NBC's primetime coverage, which will be live in all time zones for the first time in a Winter Games.
You don't have to avoid your phone that, someone from the East Coast texted you that, did you see what happened in figure skating? We'll all see it at the same time, and I think that'll be great for the viewers for these games.
And great for the crews covering them, too.
You'd be amazed when we're live. Far less mistakes are made than when you're on tape when you have the chance to do it over.
This is NBC's Broadcast Operations Center, where they will be keeping track of everything that goes on during more than 2,400 hours of broadcast, cable, and streaming coverage. Some of it is devoted to specific sports.
The streaming is the purest sense for the audience at home. If they just want to watch Alpine, you stream Alpine.
But NBC's broadcast coverage will present the overall Olympic experience.
Will we be ready when the time comes for the countdown for opening ceremony? You better believe we will be.
The start is just hours away. Mark Barger, NBC News.
The games start Thursday and the opening ceremony will take place Friday night. You can find even more Olympics coverage on our website, KVOA.com.